for joining me for an all levels, flow class. And today's, theme, I always have to have a theme for my classes, something to focus on, to grab, hold our attention. So it's basically the integration of mind, body, breath. So, I've been navigating through the chakras, which is like the energy channels we have, starting from our base, our foundation, moving all the way to the crown of the head, which is basically our consciousness, right? Us being able to find stillness, to connect to that peaceful, right, quiet space within ourselves. So yoga, really ultimately the goal, the intention is to be able to find stillness, to be aware, to be able to just, no matter how chaotic things are externally, you still are able to just go inside and listen to yourself, to your truth, okay? So, with that being said, we're going to be doing inversions, we're going to be really moving with intention, right? That's always what we want, and allow the breath to set the rhythm. So let's start today in dolphin pose. So starting to build some heat right away. So bring your forearms to the ground, relax your neck. And you don't have to walk your feet forward too much just yet. You can bend your knees as much as you need. So taking this opportunity here to fully arrive, to ground yourself. Open and close the mouth. Draw the navel towards the spine. Take another breath here. And then slowly release. Take a child's pose. Stretch your arms away from you. Rest your forehead on the ground. Maybe even gently rock a little bit from side to side. And then walk your hands to the left as you inhale. Take a nice side stretch here. Come back to center, breathe in. And to the right, breathe out. Come back to center, find a tabletop. Start to inhale, arching the spine, lift the gaze. Exhale, round, tuck your chin towards your chest. And breathe in, let the heart shine forward. And breathe out, round. Start to add more volume, texture to the breath, and move organically, move like you. The mind feels, busy right now, if the chatter is taking over, see if maybe closing the eyes perhaps helps you to, connect, tune in. Good, and now we're going to start to add a little bit more. So you're going to inhale, exhale, press back, child's pose. Inhale, shift forward, take a baby chaturanga push-up. Press yourself back, and then child's pose. So as you take this baby push-up here, make sure that shoulders don't dip below the elbows, and you hug the shoulders by the ribs, so you should feel this in your triceps. Good, final one. And child's pose, curl the toes, downward facing dog. Now bend your right knee generously here and anchor down through that left heel. So your left heel presses firmly on the ground as you bend your right knee. Bring awareness to the back of your left leg. Breathe deeply. And then switch. Bend your left knee. Let that right heel get heavy towards the earth. One more breath. Good, and release. Now turn all 10 toes to the left Keep pressing equally through the palms here, still lifting your hips in your downward dog. Just breathing from the left outer ankle all the way to that pinky finger on the left hand. Come back to center, breathe in. And switch sides, breathe out. Notice if you start to pour more weight on your left palm, see if you can anchor down through both hands. Come back to center. Now we're gonna crisscross the legs, walking towards the top of the mat. And step your feet hip width apart. Take an inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold. Again, breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, fold. Inhale to rise, moving through sun salutation. Exhale, right back down with a flat back. Breathe in. As you breathe out, step back to plank. Hold it here. Now spread your fingers nice and wide. Keep the shoulders over the wrists. Pull the belly in. Firm up through the legs. And then slowly lower down. Untap your toes. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, release. Downward facing dog. So as you start to listen to the breath and go a little bit more inwards, remember you want to always have one breath per move, and you always want to be mindful of your transitions. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or jump. Big breath in, slow breath out, fold. Press through the feet, root to rise. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, right back down. Hands to the floor. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out, plant your hands. You can step or jump here. You can bring your knees to the floor. Take your back bend of your choice. As you exhale, press yourself to downward facing dog. Ground yourself, breathe in, and slowly breathe out. We're gonna move through one more Sun A. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or jump. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. And rise, breathe in. You can even press the hips forward a little bit, lift your gaze, and then exhale. Pull that energy down to the earth. Breathe in, create space. As you breathe out, again, plant your palms. Move like you. How's your breath? You're gonna raise your right leg to the sky. Step your right foot forward. Bring your knee to the ground. Inhale, raise your arm up. Open twist. And frame that front foot. You're gonna press your hips back. Ardha Hanumanasana, runner's stretch here. Extend through the right leg, lengthen the spine. Just breathe deeply into the back of the leg. Create space, soften, let go of resistance. You rebend your knee. You're gonna curl the back toes under. Press your right heel up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips open. You may stay here and roll your ankle, or you can flip your dog. If you're flipping the dog, press your feet equally on the ground. Breathe into the heart space and come back to that downward dog. Inhale, shift forward plank. Exhale, flow. Cobra or upward dog. Press up and back, downward facing dog. So today we are also gonna think about being more fluid when we move, right? That's the beauty of being able to connect to that quiet space, right? That integration of mind, body, breath. Take your left leg high, step your foot forward, take your time. Right knee to the ground. Breathe in, lift your left arm. Good, frame your foot, shift your hips back. Take that runner stretch. So as we continue to build, right, in our sequence, give yourself permission to explore, to be curious about the body, the breath, perhaps trying something new or that it's challenging, maybe even scary. Good, rebend your knee, curl the back toes, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, stack your hips. Again, you may stay here or flip your dog. Point your toes forward if you're flipping and really press through the palm. Try not to collapse into your shoulder. Come back to downward dog. You can move the energy and flow, or you can stay in stillness. Breathe here. In through the nose, open mouth, exhale. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Take your right leg high. Tap your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, reach. Knee to the left, twist. Press the palms, bring the shoulders forward. Knee to nose, round the upper back. Gracefully take your foot to the ground. Lower your left knee. Inhale, reach your arm up. As you exhale, reach the fingers back. Catch your left foot or ankle. Or maybe just curl the hamstring. Breathe into the quad. One more. Lean back. Mindfully release the foot. Frame that front foot. Shift your hips back. Go a little bit more, find a little bit more sensation into your half splits. Maybe you even walk your foot forward a little bit more. You can even use props here if you have a block. That block can come under the leg or the sit bone. Keep flexing the toes, breathe. And don't be afraid of sensation, you guys. I've been reflecting a lot about how sometimes it's easier for us to check out, right, to escape, because it's not always easy to show up, especially when life is really challenging and things just seem like heavy and out of control, right? It's not easy, but we have the choice to make, right? Do we want to continue to show up for ourselves and others? And stepping on your mat is showing up, is doing the work. Recognizing the parts of ourselves that perhaps we don't like so much, that we don't appreciate so much. So slowly start to come out of that split. You're gonna rebend your right knee, curl the back toes under. You're gonna find standing splits now. You have an opportunity to add a little quad stretch here on the left side as well. So if you want to take your right hand and catch your left foot, You can do that, or just stay with your regular standing splits. Now let the head hang here. So you're gazing back, right? Either towards your knee, ankle, and continue to let the torso drape over your right leg. One more breath here. Slowly release your bind if you took one. Cross your left ankle behind, curtsy. Take an inhale, reach your right arm up. And then rise, breathe in. Exhale, lace the fingers behind your back. Breathe in and breathe out, fold. Take 3 mindful breaths here, creating space in the upper back, shoulders. And release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step or jump. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Press up and back, downward facing dog. Raise your left leg. Take your left knee to your left elbow. Inhale, reach. Twist to your right. Breathe in, lengthen, and breathe out. Plant your foot, right knee down to the ground, follow the breath. Breathe in, raise your left arm, brighten the fingers. As you start to exhale, reach your fingertips back, bend your right knee. Use a variation or a prop, whatever it is that serves you right now. One more. Good, slowly release, frame your front foot, shift your hips back. So we were here not too long ago. You can choose to simply stay here, or you can maybe start to add a little bit more. Find a little more sensation. And I highly encourage you to detach yourself from judgment here, right? Just be open, try, give it a try, see what happens. Honor your differences, respect your limitations. That's part of the process. But the beauty of yoga really is for us to, root ourselves in our truth as we continue to show up. It's about being able, right, to be comfortable in our own skin, love all the parts of ourselves. Ultimately leading us to live a very happy, fulfilling, joyful life. That's all. I believe that's what we all want. Last breath. And then slowly start to get out of the pose. You can slide that foot back, curl the back toes under. You're gonna go into standing splits. And then option to bend your knee. Grab a hold of your foot. Keep folding. Remember, today it's about changing the perspective as well, right? So getting that upside down. So let the crown of the head reach towards the floor. Final one. Slowly release your bind, curtsy, cross your right ankle behind, raise your left arm, breathe in, Stay for the exhale, breathe out. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana, mountain pose. Hands to the heart center. Circle the arms, inhale. Exhale, fold. Breathe in to lengthen and breathe out. You know what to do. Move like you. Try something different as you transition. You know, if you tend to always lower the knee first or take cobra, maybe try, see what it feels like today to take an upward dog. Or if you normally do upward dog, what does it feel like to take a cobra? Yoga allows us to recognize our patterns, to observe our patterns. Raise your right leg. Take your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, reach. Take it to the left, falling triangle. So turn all 10 toes to your left. Both legs are straight here. Wake up your toes, lift your hips, engage. Feel the obliques engaging here. Reach your arm overhead. How can you soften here? But at the same time, keeping the integrity of the pose, tapping into the power of your breath. Come back to three-legged dog. Bend your knees, stack your hips open. Option to flip once again. Maybe going a little deeper. Follow that right hand, eventually maybe getting into a full wheel from here. And we find three-legged dog once again. Step your right foot forward. Now we're gonna rise for high lunge. So adding a little bit more balancing here. You can always keep your back knee on the ground. Open twist to your right. Brighten the fingers, reach in opposite directions. The arms are active as well. The shoulders are relaxed. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Square off the hips slowly. Fold. Start to hinge at the hips with the flat back. Your hands can release to the floor or props. You don't have to touch that back heel on the ground. But if you want to, you can hop your foot forward a little bit more. One more breath. All right, we're gonna go back into standing splits and we're gonna play a little bit with handstand hops here. So transfer the weight to your right foot. So remember, you can always just stay here if that's what serves you today. Otherwise, walk your hands forward just a little bit. Spread your fingers, hands are about shoulder width apart. Engage that left leg and try to keep your hips squared instead of externally rotating. Lock your elbows here, pull the belly in and start to do little hops. Keep both legs straight. Trust yourself. Think about stacking hips over shoulders. One more. Back to that standing splits. Take your curtsy here. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, rise. Figure four. Sit nice and low. Just a couple breaths here. Breathe into the outer hips, slow down the breath. Straighten your right leg again, slide your left leg over the right. Take your hands to your hips, big breath in. Exhale, hinge and fold. into the outer leg, hamstring. Let the torso drape over the leg. Now, you're gonna keep your legs crossed, right? And you're gonna open your knees east and west. So you're gonna come to the balls of your feet here. Your knees are wide. And even though you're crossing at the ankles, your left knee comes to the left arm, right knee to the right arm. So we're gonna go into crow pose, but just crossing the legs. Lift your gaze, press your finger pads, trust yourself. Start to float the feet off the ground. Pull that belly in. It's okay if you fall. Try again. And slowly release. You can uncross the legs. Grab your elbows with opposite hands here. Take a breath. Thank yourself for your efforts, for trusting. One more breath in. Audible breath out. Release your hands to the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, flow or step back, downward dog. You can even just hold plank here in between. Take one more inhale and exhale. Check in with yourself. Tune in. You're gonna raise your left leg. Take your knee to your left elbow. Inhale, reach. To your right elbow, falling triangle. Reach the arm over your ear. Lift your hips a little higher. Back to your three-legged dog. Take your time. Be mindful of your transitions. Bend your knee. Stack your hips open. You have the option to stay here or flip once again. And come back to your three-legged dog. Step your foot forward. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Open twist to your left. One more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, draw the hands to the heart. Straighten that front leg. With the flat back, heart leads the way. Slowly fold. Hands to frame that left foot. All right, we're gonna go into that standing splits with the option to play with your handstand. So again, the important things here is the foundation, right? Which will be your hands, your arms. So work on that bone stacking, shoulder over wrists. Lock your elbows. This is probably the only time I'm gonna tell you to lock your joints. So engage through the back leg, shift the weight forward, claw the fingers on the floor, and hop. The more you engage your legs, the easier it will be. Otherwise, the legs get too heavy. Two more. And you're gonna notice one side is probably way more difficult. And then curtsy Take that twist. Inhale, rise one leg in mountain. Draw your right knee with you. Cross your right ankle over. Take your figure four for 3 breaths. And then slowly come up, slide that right leg over left. Breathe in and breathe out, fold. Shake your head yes and no. Open and close your mouth. All right, we're gonna play with that crow pose, crossing the ankles one more time. So lift your heels, keep your ankles crossed, give it a try. Hands, fingers wide. Take your knees as high as you can, either into the armpits or triceps. Slowly start to play with the balance. Maybe just lift for a second or two. One more. And slowly release. Bring your feet a little bit wider than the hips. Take a moment here. Breathe in. Audible exhale. Again. Inhale. Exhale. All right. Take an inhale. Bring your feet hip width. Exhale. Step back to your downward dog. Find stillness here for a moment. Reconnect to your breath, your intention. As you pause, observe your thoughts, your energy. All right, take your right leg high. Step your right foot forward. You're gonna inhale, rise, high lunge. Open twist to your right. Option to stay here or flip your palm, reach up and back. You can even work on the half bind here. Good, come back to center, inhale. One more breath in. We're gonna go into warrior 3. You can draw the hands to the heart center. Take a big breath in. Exhale, warrior 3. Keep your chest nice and open, like when you do your cobra pose. Keep both legs very strong. Press firmly through your right foot. Pull your belly in. Now it's slowly going to start to rise. Come up, draw your left knee with you first. Good. Now turn your left palm out to the side. Catch the inner edge of that left foot. Draw your knee towards the midline. Raise your right arm. Look up. Exhale, kick into your hand for dancer's pose. Notice where the attention goes. Keep kicking. One more. Slowly draw your knee with you. Cross your ankle. We're gonna go back into that figure 4. Last breath here. And slowly release. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, plant your hands, fold. Breathe in, lengthen. And breathe out, flow. Or step back, downward dog. Breathe in. Open mouth, lion's breath. Again, inhale. Exhale. Breathe your left leg high. Step your left foot forward. Rise for your high lunge. Exhale, open twist to your left. Stay here or flip your palm, reach up and back. Come back to center, inhale. Exhale, palms touch, hands to the heart. Find your warrior 3 whenever you're ready. Take your time. Slowly start to stand here. Draw the knee with you. Now your right palm turns out to the side. You're gonna catch your foot. Make sure your thumb's pointing back. Draw your right knee towards the midline first. Inhale, look up. Lengthen, exhale, kick your foot into your hand. Slowly start to release. Draw your knee mindfully in front of you. Figure 4. And slowly release, breathe in and breathe out. Option to move through one last flow here. You can plant your hands, flow, or just meet me in a child's pose. Give yourself the opportunity to pause, to appreciate, enjoy the peace in finding stillness. Another breath in here. Stay for your exhale. Alright, you can come to sit on your heels for a moment. So now we're going to do a little bit more of a inversion playtime. So for those of you that already have a headstand, handstand, forearm balance, feel free to go ahead and explore, have fun, be mindful, right? Move with intention. Always feel free to move towards closer to a wall if that gives you a little bit more that sense of security. Otherwise, I'm gonna break down our headstand. So the hamstring should be fairly warm here. You know, the shoulders are open. We've done a ton of work. I like to guide towards Shirshasana A, which is the more traditional supported headstand. So forearms, like we did in the beginning of class in dolphin, right? So the forearms are gonna come to the ground. Think about shoulder width. So first thing, bring your forearms down. Now take your fingers, wrap around your triceps here. That's roughly how wide you want your elbows to go. Now lace the fingers, create a little basket with your hand, place it on the floor. Don't place your head on top of your hands, right in front. So the crown of the head comes to the ground. Curl the toes. So you're rolling towards the crown of your head and the hands are here to support so you don't roll all the way. Walk your feet forward. Maybe your work today is to stay here. Some of you can work towards tucking one knee and just play rolling towards that big toe. Right, so I'm engaging my belly a lot here in order to do that. Maybe you start to float your foot, or you can try right away tucking both knees. Stay here, relax the shoulders. Maybe work towards extending both legs. Press your forearms, squeeze the legs together, lengthen your tailbone. Breathe. Whenever you're ready, slowly come down. Stack your palms here, rest your forehead. And then slowly come to sit on your heels and just roll to one side here as you find a seated position. You're going to extend your left leg in front of you, bend your right knee. Let's release the low back a little bit more. Stretch the hamstring. Take an inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. We're gonna take a few breaths here. Remember, there's no need to force anything. It's more about being able to pause, to observe, see what your body is communicating with you. I'm a firm believer that less is more. Walk your hands back, stack your shoulders over the hips. From here, very simple, you're just gonna wrap your left leg over the right, so that right heel now hugs in towards your left hip. For some of you that, if your knee bothers you, that right knee bothers you, just extend your bottom leg. Sit tall. Now take your right elbow outside your left leg. Keep the left arm straight behind you. If your palm is not flat on the ground, it's fine. You can stay on your fingertips. And gaze back. Another breath in, twist a little more as you exhale. And just slowly release. Take a counter twist here. And let's switch sides. So extend your right leg this time, bend your left knee, rock the hips back. Big breath in. And as you exhale, fold. Last one. Breathe deeply, breathe slowly. Walk your hands back. Now cross your right leg over the left. Hug your left heel towards your right hip. Sit tall. Hook your left elbow or forearm. Keep shoulders over hips. Gaze back. Mindfully release. Take that counter twist. And release. All right. Plank your hands behind you. We're going to go into a reverse plank pose. So you do have the option, the modification would be reverse tabletop. For reverse plank, we're going to be extending the legs and see if you can work towards pressing the sole of your foot on the ground. So you can start first into that reverse tabletop, and then extend one leg and then the other. Lift. Press firmly through the hands. One more breath. And slowly release. So the legs are nice and straight here. Rock the hips back. We're going to fold one more time. Big breath in. And fold for Paschimottanasana. If you're feeling a lot of resistance and tension in your hamstrings, bend your knees a little bit more here. Where can you use a little bit more space, a little bit more freedom? Whether it is in your physical body, on your mind. One last breath. And then slowly release. All right, find a seated position. If you want to sit on the edge of a blanket or a block. I'm going to do a little bit of neck work here since we were working on that, headstand. Sit tall. Shoulders over hips. Take a big breath in. Exhale, draw your chin towards your chest. You can always lace the fingers and place the hands on your head. Otherwise, just stay here. Allow the shoulders to relax as much as possible. Now, slowly start to draw your left ear towards your left shoulder. It may feel nice to extend your right arm to the side, whether your hand, it's shoulder height or more towards the floor. It depends on your body where you feel that sensation to increase a little bit more. Now start to shift your gaze towards your left shoulder. So you should feel sensation stretch in a different area of your neck. Continue to sit tall. Notice if you start to round the spine. Gaze back towards the horizon. Bring your chin back towards the chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, right ear towards your right shoulder. Again, option to walk the hand out to the side, keeping the left arm straight. Start to shift your gaze towards your right shoulder. Take 3 breaths here. And chin towards the chest. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, shift your gaze up. Come back to neutral. Keeping your eyes closed or with a soft gaze, just take a moment here to pause. To scan your body from head to toe. Connecting to that peaceful, quiet space within yourself. And then come down to your backs. Before we transition into our final relaxation, we're just going to take a few options here. You can do a happy baby, or you can work with waterfall pose, right? Just raising your legs, keeping the sacrum on the floor. Or for those of you with a block or a thick book, you can lift your hips, rest your sacrum, and then raise the legs. If you want something a little bit more advanced, you can go into plow pose, halasana. So you're gonna lift your hips, hold your low back here, support yourself, don't look to the side, just keep your neck neutral, and bring the legs overhead. So ultimately, you want to bring the hips over the shoulders. You can keep the hands at the low back, or you can grab the edges of your sticky mat. Breathe. You can bend your knees here. Let the knees fall towards the ears for ear pressure pose. And if you feel ready, slowly start to release. If you are in plow pose, grab the edges of your mat or hold your low, support your low back, and start to roll one vertebrae at a time. So you want to come out of this pose very slowly here. Take a moment. You can windshield wipe the legs. And then if you were in that plow pose or shoulder stand, take your hands under the sacrum. Create that little triangle shape with your hands. Extend your legs in front of you. Press your forearms. Lift your chest as you let your head fall back for fish pose. And release. Hug the knees in. Curl yourself into a tiny little ball. Say something kind to yourself. And extend your legs, arms, close your eyes. find your final relaxation. The most important pose, your opportunity to allow the body to receive. There's no more efforts here. Just finding your natural breath and allowing the earth to support you. You may stay here as long as you like in your relaxation. Otherwise, if you're ready to move on with your day, you can start to deepen the breath, your awareness, as you invite small movements back into fingers and toes. Gently move your head from side to side. Maybe even reach your arms overhead, hug your knees in. Either rock yourself to a seat or to your favorite side. Sit tall. Bring the hands to the heart. Close your eyes or find a soft gaze. As you take a moment to thank yourself for showing up. Taking the time to clear space in your mind and your physical body to simply breathe. Breathe with awareness, with intention. May you have peace, may you be happy, may you be free. From my heart to yours, namaste.